My name is Betty Fink and I'm with Midwest Design Imports. I'm going to show you how to make a Halloween wreath. That's really quite simple. Be using our thread garlands. They all have like almost like a embroidery thread on them with lurex in each one, so they shine quite a bit. I have one finished here. It is done in green, orange, and black. However, I'm going to make one out of purple, orange, and green for you. And it takes 2 each of these garlands, and I have braided them together. Here's one. I usually find something to attach it to, therefore you can just braid and it won't fall apart for you. However, I will put a wire on the end of it to hold it together. We sell these thread boas in numerous colors, so you can select really whatever color you want for whatever holiday or just an everyday one to go on your door. They're color fast, so you can actually put them outside. This is a 12-inch wreath, which is what I have used here. You can actually do it on a bigger wreath, then it'll take more of the thread boas. You really can't make it on a smaller one because you won't see a center. So I've taken these 3 colors. I'm just going to take a very small 1/3 piece of a 22 gauge wire and tie them together at one end, and then attach it to something you have that's heavy. And I'm going to attach it to just a pick machine here, so I can actually braid the garlands. And like I said, the one that's done has the black in, but we also have hot pink and red, white, turquoise, light pink. So there's many options. Blue, a royal blue. You can do something for the 4th of July. Hang it outside for the day. Once you complete the braiding, you're going to tie it with the wire on the end again so it doesn't come apart. You can braid all the boas, or the thread boas, ahead of time, and that way it's all ready to go. And if you decide to do a larger wreath, then you'll have to figure out how many more you'll need. For instance, if you do a 24-inch wreath, you're going to have to do double the amount. So I'm going to wire the end of this again. I'm just twisting it just to hold it together. Now, before I put it on the actual wreath, I'm using an 18 gauge wire, which I cut in half, and I'm going to use floral tape around, tie it or twist it around the wire. And then you're going to make a loop with it and then twist the bottom wire. That might be a little long, so I'm going to trim it so you have about 1 inch of the twisted wire there. And I'm going to put that on the back side so you have something to hang it with. And just for security, I'm going to use an S-pin to put over it so it doesn't come out, because you don't want to really hot glue to an actual styrofoam wreath. If you used a dialite, which has got a hard coating, then you can hot glue to it. Now I'm going to take the thread garland and attach it to the wreath. And I'll put where I have wired it on the back, attach it with an S-pin, and then I'll just wrap it around. And you can fluff out to cover the wreath part if you see any of it once you've wrapped it around there. It's actually a quite simple project. Won't take very long to make, but it does have impact once you hang it up. So that's the end of the first one, and somewhere on the back where you end, then you're going to put the S-pin in to hold it in place. So that is half of the wreath right there. Now I'm going to take the second one and do the same thing. And I'm going to start right where I left off. Again, attach it to the back side with an S-pin so it holds in place. Pull it around and just keep going around with it until you've come to the end. Okay, now I've come to the end and I've filled up the entire wreath with the boas. I'm going to S-pin it again, and then I'll just look to see if there's any white space, and then you can kind of pull your threads around to cover the white space up. Or if you want to see more purple, make sure you kind of just pull the purple out, or whatever color you think you want to see more, you can kind of fluff with it and pull the threads out. So you got your hook in the back right there, which is your top, and now I'm going to add one of our crows, the open wing crow, and I'm just going to put him in at an angle towards the top, and I will hot glue him in because he's going to be on the thread so it won't hurt the styrofoam. Just glue the back and then lay him in place. Hold him down until it adheres to the threads. And then I have just used a simple black satin ribbon. You can use double-faced or single-faced. And this is 2.5 yards. The bolt itself comes in a 4-yard put-up. And there again, I'm going to take a 22 gauge wire to tie the bow. And I cut the ends diagonally to give it a nicer look than just the straight cut. Should be able to get about 5 loops out of a 2.5 yard put up. Because you want to leave a little bit of tails hanging down. Actually, I'm going to have 6 on this one. And then you'll just tie the bow with the wire and just squeeze it together and twist it. Now I find where my hook is, and there's the crow, and I'm going to put the ribbon right here. So you'll take the ends of your wire and just tie it around the wreath. My crow is not holding so good, so we're going to put a little more glue because you want it to be on there pretty firm. Then I just kind of fluff out the bow, and you've got yourself a Halloween wreath in very little time.